Pause. Just stop. Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And this one is more of her video, but y'all know us. Ain't nothing like a video from Stivers Homestead. Get both of us in here. So y'all know that we absolutely love preserving our foods. Well, one thing that we don't show very often, but we do is fermentation and fermenting. And this is a huge deal to put in your bank of knowledge and things to know how to do, because this is one of the best ones that you could probably ever do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her tell you a little more about it.
So before we get into the fermenting process and what we're going to ferment, I want to talk a little bit about why. My good friend at Fermented Homestead asked me to join her collab, which was really exciting. We don't do many collabs. We don't get asked to join many, but we did this one, and she's one of my really good friends. So it was just fun to think about. And we do have some fermenting videos, but when I thought about it, I was like, well, what am I going to ferment that I haven't already done a video on and that I can show you all and that I think you would like? So we do as your standard, and a while back I had ordered, I think it's 2 pounds of ginger root, not powder, and I've been just keeping it in the fridge, but I also wanted a way to be able to preserve it long term because ginger is really, really good for you. So I came up with the ginger ferment. So we're going to ferment some ginger. It's going to be really, really good. Like I said, this is part of her collab, and it's going to be really exciting.
So if you don't know what a collab is when a bunch of YouTubers get together and have a themed event. And so this one's a fermenting event. It's for February, right?
Yeah, I'm actually at the end of the month. So there's like a ton of other videos that are already out there.
Yeah, and so I will make sure that the playlist is down below. So if you're into fermenting and you like our video, go check out everybody else's to see what everybody else fermented.
And if you guys really like it and you want us to ferment more stuff, let us know, because we do it. We just don't always show it. We have a few times, but
yeah.
Not always.
And she said we're not in a bunch of them, but I think we have another one coming up next month around canning.
Yep.
So we'll have that coming too. But right now, let's ferment some ginger.
So what is fermenting and why even do it? Fermenting is actually the first way, to my knowledge, that people preserve foods. It's pickling your food, which makes it last a long time because it's preserved with salt and a brine. And it's really what our ancestors did before they canned or before they had access to all the jars. You know, they would use their crocks or really whatever they could get their hands on to put their stuff in. We're talking about sauerkraut. That's a ferment, if you didn't know that. Pickles, they would do green beans, they would do cucumbers,
peppers.
And they would seriously just leave them on their shelf or in their root cellar or wherever until the next season of harvest. And that was how they preserved their food. So why do that now when we have all kinds of other ways to preserve our food? Well, because it's really good for you. It's really good for your gut health. It keeps all the good bacteria, and it's probiotics for your gut health.
And it's actually like when she's saying it keeps all those nutrients, like out of any preserving way, freezing, freeze drying, canning, all that stuff, fermenting keeps the most nutrients in your food, plus adds beneficial lactic acid
and vitamin C
on top of what your veggies didn't even have in the first place, unless they went through this fermenting process. So you're getting that digestive gut health and help keeping yourself on track,
which we all need.
Right, which we all need, that you wouldn't get in a different preserving way, right, unless that actual food item had it. So that's, one huge way and one huge benefit of fermenting. And with the ancestry talk, what you're about to see, like, it costs nothing to ferment. Like, it's the cheapest way to preserve as well. You don't need a canner, you don't need a freeze dryer, you don't need freezers. This is so stinking simple. And actually, I know it's crazy. We should really be doing this more.
Yeah. So in saying that it was the original way to preserve and you don't need anything special to do it, that is 100% true. However, I'm going to show you something really cool that we got from Hoss Tools. We've been into fermenting for a while. We have a lot of the fermenting tools. Some of you have sent them to us over the years. We've collected some over the years from our friends and family, but we've also kind of worn those down over the years. So I got this really cool kit from Hoss Tools. It's called the Complete Fermentation Kit, and it's got the little pickle bites and the pickle pebbles, which are really cute. I have used just the regular size one before, So I'm not sure if these are going to be smaller. We'll see. I do have the glass weights. However, you do not need those. I have also, and I still do, if I can't find my glass weights, I just fill up a baggie with water, suck the air out, and put that on top. Or you can use grapeseed or cabbage leaves.
Yeah, cabbage leaves.
And put those on top because you just want to hold the food down. But we'll get more into that in a minute. But I want to show you what was in this box because I'm really excited about it. So it comes with a fermenting guide and recipe book. I've already looked through this, and there's some good recipes in there. Some stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think about fermenting. There's also all kinds of books online and on Amazon. I have some, but you can get some that just, they tell you the normal stuff, but they also give you the cool stuff that people don't think about. So these are the little glass weights. Looks like it comes with 4 of them. So these will be good. Like I said, I have some, but over the years, they've also just kind of gotten misplaced. So you get 4 of those. That's what holds your food down under the water so that you're not getting air to it. It also comes with these cute little pickle pipes. There's blue, teal, purple, and red. I'm colorblind, so hopefully I said those right. Once I started, I was like, I probably should have left that out.
Blue, teal, purple, red. You're right. Yeah,
okay,
you're
right. So when you're fermenting, you don't want to put a regular top on it. You don't have to use these. Like I said, you can use a coffee filter and a mason jar ring, but you have to let the gas escape, and you have to let the bubbles, you have to let it burp. So these are really good for that, and you just put them on, and it lets the air out and lets the bubbles get out. So those are cute. There's 4 of them. Last but not least, the pickle pounder, which is really cool. So if you've been with us for a while, there was a moment at our old house when we could not find our pounder thing. I still don't think we found it.
We haven't found it. We have no idea where it is.
It might still be at our old house. Who knows? But you have to have something to pound your stuff down, especially when you're doing sauerkraut, because you want to fit as much as you can in your jar so you don't have air bubbles. The same thing with when you're canning.
So a fun fact about this, because it's not just a cool shape, wide mouth, regular mouth. Yeah. So that's why they're 2 different sizes, so they work for both.
And it's really heavy duty. It's good. It's really nice.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you want it to cover the entire sides, like as far as they can go down. You don't want anything to come up to the sides, and that's why these are kind of cool and how they're designed.
That's what you get in the kit. It's a really cool, and it would be a really good gift for someone too if they were just starting to get into fermenting. It would really set them up for success. Yeah. And again, you don't need any of it, but it's like one of those hobbies. When you get into something, you want this stuff.
Right.
You know, even though you don't need it. So.
Well, I will have that link down below if you are interested in that. Okay, now you know why you should ferment. You know what fermenting is. You know the tools that you need to be able to do this. Now it's time to pickle some ginger. Yeah. So we love pickled ginger. If you've never had it, it's very popular in Asian dishes, which we're very fond of. We do a lot of home-cooked Asian dishes. Yeah. And so you can actually do a refrigerator pickled ginger if you want to. It doesn't have the shelf life, and you won't have all that good fermenting bacteria that we was talking about. But doing it this way will last a long time. So we're just going to do a pint jar this round. Just a small round to show y'all how it's done.
It lasts a really long time.
It does. It's so potent. You only need a couple pieces on there. So let's get this party started. You ready?
Yeah, first we have to peel it, which I'm going to let him do.
Yay.
All right, so he's going to peel it. They say the easiest way to peel ginger is with a spoon. I almost always use like a potato peeler. What do you think? Is it easier with a spoon?
I mean, it's coming off pretty easy.
Yeah?
I don't hate it.
So we're going to peel it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so we've gotten them diced up, and then she just added 1/8 and then a little bit more than 1/8 of Redmond's real salt.
We don't quite have a pound here, so we're just kind of measuring with our heart type thing.
Yeah. The recipe you're seeing down below is for a pound.
Yes. So if you have a pound, then you use 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm. A quarter teaspoon. Or a 1/4 teaspoon, however you want to say it. Same thing. Yeah. But we did 1/8 and just a little bit more because 2/8 equal 1/4. Yeah. So now, if you haven't cut on just yet, salt is the only ingredient that you add to the ginger because...
Yep. So we're going to use our pounder. You want the salt to lay on the ginger and make the ginger release its juices because that's going to be our ferment brine. It's just like making sauerkraut. When you use cabbage, you're pounding it with the salt on it to try and get all that excess liquid to come out. So we're going to pound it, and then we're going to step away for a few minutes, then we'll come back, pound it some more until we know that we have enough liquid to basically put in the jar.
Isn't this even more reason on why this is like such an easy way of preserving? Yeah. It's so simple.
Yep. Okay, we're back. This has been a crazy day.
Yeah, we got bad storms out there right now.
Bad storms, howling winds, greenhouses being ripped to shreds. It's just no good. And another great news. I think the fact that this ginger is not the freshest because it's been sitting in our fridge for a while, it's not releasing any liquids.
Zero milk.
I mean, we waited a long time. So we're going to fix it, though, because there's still something you can do. So we're going to make a fermenting brine, which is just 1.5 teaspoons of salt to water. We're going to fill our pint up with our ginger, fill it with water, leaving an inch headspace, and then we're going to put 1.5 teaspoons of salt.
And it's 1.5 because it's a pint. Yeah. So it's a ratio, salt water ratio for a brine. So for a pint, it's 1.5 teaspoons.
Yep. My hands are clean. Always make sure your hands are clean, your jars are clean, all your tools and utensils, because you are fermenting. You don't want to introduce anything that should not be in there. All right, we've already got about 1/2 teaspoon that we were trying to do with getting our excess water off. That didn't work. So now we're just going to put a teaspoon more. And then we're going to fill it with water. Okay, now we're going to add our little weight in. Probably should do this over something. There you go. You'll have a little come out. That's okay. Make sure everything is under that weight and under the water. And then we're going to put our little lid on.
Going with the blue.
Going with the blue. And our ring.
You don't put this on tight. It's just to hold it.
Just barely on there. And it might turn cloudy. That's okay. You might get calm yeast. That's okay too. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It happens in ferments. It's all right. But we'll probably burp it probably twice a day. And we're just going to set it on our counter. And then we'll be back in a few days with you to show you what it looks like and taste it. Okay, so before we try this, I want to talk a little bit more about the videos. So Anna at Fermented Homestead is the one who started this. I've been watching her ferment videos for, I think, like 2 years now. Maybe not that long, but it feels that long. And she does just the most awesome stuff, makes good videos. And all the people in this collab have done so many cool videos. So make sure you go watch them, not just to learn, but there is another perk. I'm going to have it linked below, but if you watch the videos in the collab and comment on them, she is going to be giving away a fermenting kit at the end of this month when the collab is over. So please make sure that you go follow everyone and you'll learn so much. I promise. There's so many cool things that people are doing, and it's a really good time to be doing stuff like this because it's wintertime and we're all waiting, you know, for our spring gardens and our homesteads to come alive again. So it's a good time to experiment and be learning stuff and helping your gut health over the wintertime. So it's been about 7 days. Ideally it would be a little bit longer. I would like it to be, but that's just where we're at with the video. You can leave ferments set for as long as you want to. That's the coolest thing about ferments. The longer they sit, the better they get and the better for you that they get over time. But the least that you want to have them sit is about 7 days. So that's where we're at, and we're gonna try it. Everything's good with that lid. I never did actually have to burp it. I checked it every single day, but it burped itself just fine. I love those little fermenting lids. They're just really cool and make fermenting even easier. So we're gonna try and see how this goes. Very crunchy. It's very good. It's still a little bit hotter than I think I would like it to be. No, it will stay hot. It'll still have that spice because it's ginger, but I would like the pickling to be a little stronger, so I would recommend letting it sit for quite a bit while. I would probably start with a week and taste it and go from there. And then whenever you are done, whenever your ferment's done and it's exactly to where you want it to be, put it in the fridge, and you're good to go. It will not ferment any longer. So I've got my lid back on, and I'm gonna put mine back on my counter. Like I said, I'll start with a week and we'll go from there. But in case you are doing this too, do it however long you want to. But to me, a week's still a little on the hot side, not as much as the pickled. But we're gonna keep going because it's really, really good, and it's really good for you. We can just eat it, but it would also be cool if like you made your own homemade sushi and paired it with that on the side. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you go check out the rest of the collab. It'll be linked below. See all the videos. Oh my goodness, they've been so good. I've been watching like crazy and just adding stuff to my list that I want to ferment that I haven't done before, and even reminding myself of things that I've done, but I've forgotten how good they were. So go check everyone out. Make sure you follow them and stay tuned for the next one. We love y'all. Until the next one. Bye.